どうも皆様、こんばんにちは、ヒロでございます。下手でも関係ない楽しむだけのモートに、ヴァンパイア、続きをやってきたと思います。前回の続きですね。ようやくアスカロンクラブの玄関までやってきたというところで、前回終わったかと思います。では、その続きです。さあ。
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
So.
Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
どうも。なんというか、すげえな、ここ。
There has been quite a battle here.
アイテム拾って大丈夫？拾った瞬間バトルとかにはならないよね。
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
じゃあ、いただいてきます。もうなんかすごいな。戦った後っていうのがすごいね。どこだ？上か？普通にこういうとこ入っちゃダメなんだけどさ、アイテムが拾えるんだったら拾っちゃうよね。こんな普通に取ってっていいのかって思うけどな。ちなみにこっちは良いだが、うっそ、こんなところでアイテム手に入るの？お前ふざけんなよ。なんだよ、武器手に入るんだったら強化しなきゃよかったじゃん。でもどうなんだろうな。ダガーってことはあれかな、あっち系とかな。ここでやってんのか。
Good evening.
Good evening.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss.
こいつが。
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
どうしよう、どう答える？尊敬していますよっていうのはちょっとどうか。親しい友人ですよでいいか。
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
なぜ私を
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
よくご存知で。あえてここは家族のことは口にしないでいただきたい。
How dare you speak so flippantly of my family?
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member?
メンバーになることには何を
It
意味
means
する
that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
忠実なしもべ。
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
なるほど。
What is the Ascalon Club's
クラブの目
express
的は
purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest
ウィ
knight
リア
to
ム・
ever
マーシャル
live.
の信条に
As
従
was
っている。
he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance,
Ascalon,
we
そうだよね。
pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
確かそうだったよね。アスカロンってそういう名前だったよ。武器の名前だったもんね、確か。ウィリアム・マーシャルがクラブを設立した。
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
ウィリアム・マーシャルが作ったわけじゃなくて、レッドグレイブ教が彼の考え方に同調して作ったのがアスカロンクラブってことか。
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
なるほど。死んだことに関しては不問とすると。まあもうどっちにしても加入するしかないんだ
I
ろうな。
agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
儀式
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
ほう。
My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now.
話す何を
Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood.
血を証明す
It
る
is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
「書くしかない」ってことなんだよな。
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
一員だっつってるけどすげえ人数少ねえけどな。レッドクレイブ教と話す。
I personally went patrolling last night in the
Good
West
evening,
End,
Dr.
and I
Reed.
spotted it.
How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
We shall chase these intruders down.
落ち着きませんね。
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson.
アロイシウス・ドーソン。あれだね、レディと話した時に出てきた名前だね。
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you
ご
sick?
病気が
Personally, I consider my advancing years
カレ
a
ーか。
sickness in
まあ
itself.
もう年
My
相
body is
に
slowly abandoning me.
近づいて
Dr.
るって
Reed.
ことか。
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me
レッ
about
ドグレイブ
Lord
教につい
Redgrave?
て何
I
か言え
would
ること
not
は
dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
なるほど。
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in, to cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
なるほど。
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
なるほ
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
ど。実に。ウエストエ
What
ンド
is
の
the
状況は
situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
なるほど。
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable,
巨大な壁を。
unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
それは危険だ。
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear.
猟奇的だな。
Sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Ha.
Inside the club since we were attacked.
すごいな、この人。考え方がちょっと怖えわ。で、アロシウス・ドーソン。あ、この人が中心になるんだ。はあ。で、どっかで、まあ何人かと。
I must admit the guard of Prewen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing their plan.
なるほど。
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
エドガー・スワンジをご存知？
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
それはどうも。
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
ファーガルがじゃあずっと知らせてたんだ。
Who was
ファーガ
Fergal?
ルは何者なんですか？
I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Bansher was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod,
バルコ
all
ッ
muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed.
ト、極めて珍し
Ferociously
い種。
territorial. Mortals often mistake them
ウ
for
ェアウ
men.
ルフと勘違いすることが多い。ベアウルフってことは狼人間のことかな。
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied scowls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, We must eradicate the Skulls.
Iや、スカルはこれむずいな。平和的なスカルもいますよって言いたいよな。
I have met peaceful and wise Skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
なるほど。ウエストエンドの感染源を見つけると。
How's your investigation going, Dr. Reed? Time is our enemy.
I have a few questions for your lordship.
All right, but be quick.
You made me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
William Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived. He served 5 kings and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
William Marshall was a vampire? Is this some sort of joke? Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news, for it would mean he still walks among us. But alas, the great knight has left this world for good.
なるほど。
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
A member of the club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
So he really is a member then?
Indeed. Only the most eminent members are allowed to attend such ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But Mr. Dawson is mortal. Are you not afraid he might reveal who you are? Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word, as are all of us. This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
なるほど。アロシウス・ドースはすげえちゃんとレッドグレープ教の信頼を勝ち取ってんだね。
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I am certain he will persist until he has killed every last vampire.
The Guard's current successful recruitment campaign is driven by the ravenous behavior of the Skulls.
I see. So without the epidemic creating Skulls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once again become our ally.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Geoffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve. But not me. I founded this club. I'll die defending it.
なるほど。
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Godspeed, Dr. Reed. We are counting on you.
なるほどね。まあ、スカルからまあ、感染源っていうところではあるので、それを、その感染源見つけないことには始まらんということだね。
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
どうも。 じゃあ次は、感染源探すための、あれだね、情報収集をしていかないとだね。どっから拾えるかってところだけど。
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
じゃあここら辺でじゃあ情報収集していくってことか。じゃあ次回はこの続きからいきましょうか。その情報収集していってやっていきたいと思います。ご視聴いただきまして誠にありがとうございました。また次回の動画でお会いいたしましょう。またね。